Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. And now for a moment of silence.
The sun, doo doo doo. Here comes the sun. It's alright. It's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here.
Because I won't say no. Vote Madison, DC.
The sun, and I say it's alright.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of Coyotevision News. I'm Lucas.
And I'm Jada, and here are your top stories. Marching band achieves a perfect score for the 8th year in a row.
Girls powerlifting talk about the challenges of making weight.
And art shows its best at bass competition. Coyotevision News starts now.
Marching band is perfect in its prep for competition next year. Here's Julio and David with more.
In UIL competition, bands from all across state get to compete against each other and get judged for their marching, sound, form, and overall effect.
UIL is important because it is how you're judged as a school. So like when other bands are looking at you, most of the time they look at, oh, well, what did they score at UIL?
We've gotten straight ones 8 years in a row, and we want to keep that streak going.
This year's marching band scored straight ones at UIL competition in Princeton. This is their 8th year in a row to achieve a perfect score.
We did good, but not as good as we thought we were going to do this competition.
There's always stuff to improve on. I think following directions, listening to what our directors have to say.
We've been in the development stages for next year's marching show for over a year now. We've been talking with our drill writer, our composer. That's something you work for in the off season. You're always trying to get a little bit cleaner, improving your fundamentals. When we get out there at the very start of summer band camp, we've got pretty much a complete product ready to go. We're going to go for it this year. We're going to go hopefully take this thing all the way to state.
For girls powerlifting, there is more than one way to make weight. Here's Riley and Johan with more.
When it comes to the athletes of girls powerlifting, making their weight class is vital. The smaller the weight class, the smaller the competition. Some athletes choose to stick to a diet, while others can be caught starving themselves and overworking their bodies.
The struggle is that at the moment you're like, well, if I go in the weight class above me, all these girls will be way stronger than I am.
Sometimes we won't eat the night before, just so that we can make sure that we're in our weight class. Water weight is whenever you drink a bunch of water, and so basically all it does is clean out your system, and so that the next day or so you won't drink anything, and when you go to step on the scale, you won't weigh as much. We don't really prefer this method, but we've had like a lot of people starve themselves for a few days. I mean, it really weakens you, but that's one of the methods that we have.
I've come to the realization that I shouldn't worry about my weight unless it's something reasonable, because I'm comfortable with where I am.
My experience personally is actually really stressful because I struggle with losing weight and keep staying in my weight class. So like a lot of the times I'll have to work out extra every single day just to maintain the weight that I want so that I can do better.
I do not think that most athletes use their time wisely when trying to make weight. I think that the majority of athletes look for shortcuts when a little bit of hard work and planning would actually yield much better results. Most athletes do not want to listen to common sense approaches that are tried and true that will actually help you achieve your weight goals. They feel like they need the quick fix and the popular method as opposed to the more methodical and planned out method.
You should eat those full, nutritious meals and have the energy that you need instead of being tired and drained when you're trying to lift all that weight. It just doesn't work out well.
But in the end, if you make weight, you know which place you will fall into, and you will feel better, and you will feel like you've achieved something other than just dropping a lot of weight for no reason.
Art students battle the best in the region. Here's Juana Maritza with more on vase competition.
Vase is, I think, the best art competition that kids can do who want to excel in art.
Every year in February, Anna High School art students take part in Vase, which is a competition where they take one of their art pieces and go against other schools, including McKinney, Plano, Allen, and Frisco, to get the highest rating of 4 and a golden medal. This year, they compete in Prosper High School on February 17th, 2018.
They enter 1 or 2 pieces, they're interviewed about them, and then they have a chance to advance. And it is very, very hard to advance. And we are in a region with Allen and Frisco and McKinney and Prosper, and there's a lot of talent.
Students learn all year about different art forms, which include drawing, painting, and ceramics to prepare their art pieces for competition.
My first year I did a non-objective wooden sculpture, and it was kind of hard to describe it to the judges because not every judge knows about art. Last year I entered a rabbit and a goat. The rabbit was ceramic and the goat was made out of fabric and cotton. I get a 4. 4 is the best you can get. I've gotten 4 every year I competed, and this year would be my 3rd year to compete.
I help them, but I try not to push them on one particular piece unless I feel like it's absolutely extraordinary. I honestly would rather the kid feel confident in their work because I feel like they do better. They know they have more things to talk about.